Hi, this is John Canellis, and I'm the game director on Gambit Afterlife. In this video, we'll cover all of the new system changes, talent overhauls, Metroidvania upgrades, levels, weapons, and bosses coming with this massive free expansion to Death's Gambit. Our focus in creating this expansion was to give the fans exactly what they asked for. Brace yourselves, because this revamps almost all the existing systems. We changed class selection so that players can test out every weapon before committing to their preferred playstyle, whether it be fast-paced or slow. We fine-tuned input buffering to give players more control over their actions. You can now change directions at the start of an animation, so you're no longer stuck to committing to an attack you know you're going to miss. Abilities no longer go on cooldown if you're interrupted before it goes off. Stat-wise, Endurance and Haste will cap at 30 in the expansion, but each point increases damage, stamina, and cooldown reduction significantly more. The healing animation is now much faster, but heals for less overall. Some other quality of life changes we've implemented are buying stacks of a single item, being able to scrap and disenchant at a save point once you find a certain upgrade, sorting inventory. Soulstones and immortality are also much easier to obtain in the world, and hundreds of other small details we'll try to cover in a comprehensive patch notes. But the biggest major overhaul that you all asked for are the new talents. Each class starts with a general talent tree and their class-specific one. You'll eventually unlock a second class page, which allows you to multi-class and become a hybrid of your favorite playstyles. You can see all the new talent points on our Tumblr blog. And if that wasn't enough, by the end of the game, you will unlock advanced talents, which stay relevant well into New Game Plus. To compensate for the 100 plus talents that are now in the game, talent points are more readily awarded. You still won't be able to complete all your talent trees in one playthrough, but now, heroic fights grant an extra talent point. Shops will also sell talent points as seeds of knowledge, and they are hidden in the world for you to find. We've also expanded the arsenal of weapons available to the player, increasing the total amount to 30 plus weapons. Some are scattered through the world, some are boss drops, and some need to be crafted. Every weapon we're introducing with this expansion has a unique effect that encourages a specific playstyle. We expect to see a lot of interesting builds once players get their hands on them. Overall, there's a lot more diversity to the player progression, choice, and expression. Before we get into the meat of this expansion, there are some additional combat mechanics we've added. All weapons now have an alternate attack if it's the only weapon you have equipped. These are generally the heavier variant that deals more damage, and allows players to execute a specific attack when they need it. Perfect blocking now lets you counterattack as well. We're introducing a dive kick for more aerial control, but it also can be used as a parry. It specifically parries enemy dash attacks. The slide has replaced the original kick in Death's Gambit. Now let's talk about the Metroidvania upgrades. Among the first you can unlock is the double jump. It increases your jump height and distance. Next is the air dash. It's no longer a talent, and can be earned by defeating a boss. It was just a little bit too fun, and we wanted everyone to play with it. It does have invincibility frames just like the dodge roll. Then we have the crash down, which destroys floor tiles and opens new areas. It has the added effect of blinding an enemy for a short duration. The blinding effect has a cooldown. Finally, we have an infinite jump flower. This is a temporary boost to your double jump and lets you fly for a short duration. There's one more upgrade to find, but we'll leave that up to you to discover. Now you're probably thinking, that's a lot of movement enhancements that could break the game. That's why we've revamped the whole world to make use of these new abilities and double its size, making it one of the largest Metroidvania games out there. You'll see that some familiar places have undergone a complete makeover or have been extended. To flesh out the increased world size, we've added a few more fun NPCs for you to discover. The giant rabbit here will trade you valuable items for carrots, a new collectible hidden throughout the world. The Archivist is a mysterious creature who you'll have trouble chasing down. And an AI collective, a manifestation of Guarded Tomb itself. But that's not all. We've reworked a few existing bosses. Falling off the Thunderlord platform doesn't result in death anymore. Instead, you take damage and return to the platform. Kusith is no longer a damage race, and has new melee attacks and stage mechanics. Owl King mines don't stay in the ground forever and can be destroyed now. And many more tweaks and balance changes are coming to the bosses. On top of that, we're adding 10 new levels, 7 of which are large, and 3 of which are a bit smaller, and are more puzzle-oriented. A lot of these are optional, so we encourage players to experience Afterlife with an explorer's mindset. We are also introducing 6 new bosses and continue the story past its current conclusion with alternate endings. Now, some of you may be wondering what happens when you load the save file from the original release of the game. If you load an old save file, you will appear in Gaian's Cradle. From there, you must make your way back to Kaer Shorai to complete the original ending of the game. You will soon realize that reaching Kaer Shorai requires a few of the new Metroidvania upgrades we discussed in this video. You'll want to re-explore the world again to find these. Who knows? You might find a few new optional areas along the way. All that said, we do think the best way to experience Afterlife is by making a whole new character from scratch. We added a few story beats to the start of the game that will help you piece together the lore. The expansion is coming to Nintendo Switch first, followed by PC a month later, and PlayStation 4 about a month after that. We're a very small team, so to ensure we have the most stable release, we need to give ourselves a buffer period to address any imminent issues that pop up between releases. We appreciate your understanding and hope you're just as excited for the release of Afterlife as we are.